Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel, as we unpack the recent events in the South China Sea that have sent shockwaves through the international community. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay updated on our geopolitical analysis. Now let's get started. The South China Sea, a hotbed of territorial disputes and geopolitical maneuvering. Recently, tensions escalated when Chinese forces reportedly harassed Philippine warships. But what led to this confrontation? To understand, we need to rewind a bit. The South China Sea, home to vital shipping lanes and abundant natural resources, has been a focal point of territorial disputes involving China, Vietnam, the Philippines, and others. In recent years, China's assertiveness in the region has escalated, leading to heightened tensions. In our previous videos, we discussed the strategic importance of the South China Sea and the competing territorial claims. Today, we fast forward to the recent incident that has grabbed headlines worldwide. It all began when the United States intercepted a Chinese aircraft carrier in the South China Sea. This move was seen as a response to China's increasing military activities in the region. However, instead of de-escalation, tensions took a different turn. Reports surfaced alleging that Chinese forces harassed Philippine warships in the vicinity. The details are murky, but the implications are significant. The international community is closely watching as the situation unfolds. To make sense of this complex situation, we reached out to geopolitical experts for insights. Understanding the geopolitical dynamics at play is crucial. The South China Sea has become a stage for major powers to flex their military muscle, impacting regional stability. How will this incident shape alliances and influence future actions? According to recent news reports, China's Coast Guard and maritime militia have been monitoring Philippine Navy ships in disputed territory in the South China Sea. The tensions have escalated in the region, with Chinese and Philippine vessels involved in skirmishes. In some instances, China has been accused of harassing and blocking Philippine law enforcement vessels. In January 2024, a U.S. Marine jet reportedly sank a Chinese warship after Chinese harassment of the Philippine Coast Guard in the South China Sea. The U.S. Navy has also been involved in the region, with the USS Carl Vinson docking in Singapore in a display of America's military prowess in Southeast Asia amid a spat between China and the US. Two Chinese Navy vessels shadowed Filipina and US ships, conducting joint patrols in the South China Sea. The disputes between China and its neighbors, including the Philippines and Vietnam, in the South China Sea have intensified in recent decades. The U.S. takes no position on sovereignty over any of the geographic features in the South China Sea and makes no territorial claim in the region. However, the U.S. has challenged China's sweeping claims of sovereignty over the sea and its assertive territorial claims and land reclamation efforts. The U.S. has emphasized the need to preserve peace and stability in the region, uphold freedom of the seas in a manner consistent with international law, and prevent military escalation resulting from the territorial disputes. The U.S. has also accused China of conducting unnecessarily aggressive maneuvers and posing a risk to the safety of U.S. aircraft in the South China Sea. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has emphasized the need for open lines of communication between the U.S. and China, including between their defense ministers, to prevent potential accidents or miscalculations. What is the U.S. response to China's interception of U.S. aircraft in the South China Sea? The U.S. has accused China of conducting unnecessarily aggressive maneuvers and posing a risk to the safety of U.S. aircraft in the South China Sea. There have been multiple instances of Chinese intercepts of U.S. aircraft in the region, with over 180 such incidents reported since the fall of 2021. The U.S. has emphasized its commitment to safe and responsible operations in international airspace in accordance with international law. In response to the intercepts, the US has released footage of some of the incidents and called out China's risky and aggressive behavior, but has stopped short of calling most of the flights unsafe. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken has emphasized the need for open lines of communication between the US and China, including between their defense ministers, to prevent potential accidents or miscalculations. The US and Philippine navies recently concluded a 2-day joint exercise, adding an interesting twist to the ongoing tensions in the disputed waters. The joint drills, officially named Maritime Cooperative Activity (MCA), brought together the powerful Carl Vinson Carrier Strike Group (CSG) from the United States and 3 Philippine Navy ships. The primary goals were to enhance interoperability, maritime domain awareness, and readiness between these strategic allies. This formidable alliance comprised the USS Carl Vinson aircraft carrier, the USS Princeton cruiser, and the destroyers USS Kidd and USS Stet from the United States. On the Philippine side, the BRP Gregorio del Pilar, BRP Ramon Alcaraz, and BRP D del Sur played crucial roles in the exercises. The joint exercises included a variety of activities such as formation maneuvers, communication exercises, and even a deck landing of a Philippine helicopter on the USS Carl Vinson. These drills aimed not only to showcase the military prowess of the two allies, but also to improve their coordination in challenging scenarios. However, as is often the case in the South China Sea, the exercises were not without their challenges. Reports surfaced that 2 Chinese warships were closely monitoring the joint activities of the US and Philippine forces. A Chinese frigate and a destroyer entered the Philippine Exclusive Economic Zone, EEZ, a region hotly contested by multiple nations, including the Philippines and China. In response to the Chinese presence, the Philippine Navy took action. The BRP Gregorio del Pilar attempted to communicate with the Chinese frigate, seeking clarity on its intentions and emphasizing Philippine sovereignty over the area. The exchange, however, revealed a complex diplomatic dance. The Chinese ship asserted that it was conducting lawful activities in what they consider their territorial seas. This exchange raises questions about the ongoing territorial disputes in the South China Sea and the delicate balance of power in the region. As tensions continue to simmer in the South China Sea, the joint exercise served as a reminder of the complex geopolitical dynamics at play. It highlighted the need for ongoing cooperation among regional allies to maintain stability in this strategically significant area. And there you have it, a comprehensive look at the recent tensions in the South China Sea. We'll be keeping a close eye on developments, so make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more updates.